without actually telling you, I'm learning from you. Is that still mentorship, right?
Is that not kissing asses?
No. Actually, what I'm getting from you, what we're doing even right now is we are all painting the picture of our lives.
Exactly.
Whether through marriage, through the divorce, through breakups, through makeups, you know. So you find like in the case of now that famous marriage counselor or marriage mentor,
counselor, yeah.
you find that even through that divorce or that breakup, there's a lesson.
The mentor, does he have to know that he has been mentoring me? Or like can be just being mentored on a space, you know, I'm learning something, I'm observing what you're doing, and I'm trying to do it on more skillful way, learning from you without telling you actually you're mentoring me. That's mentorship.
No,
No, that's not mentorship.
You're being influenced. There's a difference between someone influencing you and mentoring you.
I felt stupid for a minute.
No. Actually, it is a good question.
Mentorship. So I don't know how many of you have been mentored. How many of you are mentors outside there? How many of you are mentees? Today, our guests actually, they don't need introduction. On my right is Mr. Kabua, not a new face. And on my left is Engineer Flax. You can call him San Diego. Yeah, but not the son of Diego. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome. So
I'm honored to be here.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here.
Based with my life experience, I've been mentored more than I have mentored others. Mm-hmm. So I don't know when it comes to you, Mr. Kabua, and when it comes to you, Mr. San Diego.
I'll let him start, please.
First, before even we dive deep into that, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is school mentorship? Is school mentorship?
For me, it will depend with the type of school, because some people are going somewhere. Let's say, you know, for me, I will answer that with a question. Actually,
okay.
There's the difference between being educated and schooling.
No, like because from my own explanation of mentorship is where a more experienced person, guides or coaches, are experiencing or developing individuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, if in the perspective of a teacher and a student, it's one experienced person who is coaching another person. So to some level, schooling is mentorships. You understand? Yeah. So I'd say
I'll beg to differ.
Really?
Me too.
Yeah, I'll beg to differ, because when it comes to mentorship is where the mentee himself or herself decides that he or she need mentorship. Yeah, so there's a mutual agreement, like there's an agreement between them.
So you want to imply that schooling you're forced? It's not your willingness.
Actually,
but it's just the system.
It's the system, bro. We go by the book, you know.
Okay.
To answer your question in one part, schooling is an institution. First of all, so as an institution, everything is structured.
Okay.
Yeah? Structured around lessons and set or preset academicians, people who is like university, where you have a professor, you have lecture halls, you have specific timings where specific lectures are being held, you see. But as opposed
your microphone,
my microphone is a little lower.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's a little bit lower. Yeah.
So to go back to what I was saying, mentorship entails, as he said, a willing mentee and a mentor. Yeah. So the mentee chooses the mentor or offers to find someone who can show them the ropes around something. Yeah, around a specific point, either some social interactions like marriage, or where you find someone looking for a marriage mentor, or around professional levels, whereby someone who is new in a profession and doesn't know anything and wants someone who has been more experienced in that field to show them the ropes, you see.
Exactly.
Which is a little different from something you touched, coaching.
About school.
Coaching and mentorship is a little bit different because the coach takes a stand as an authority, whereby they you have no choice in
Oh,
the exercises or the regimes that he puts
I
across.
get
He says,
your
okay, drop down and give me 50.
Uh-huh.
You have to drop down and give him 50.
Uh-huh.
But a
Aye.
mentor is someone who approaches you in a way of guidance where you make the choice to, and then he lets you fail or pass.
I won't actually try to dismiss your point.
Yeah.
But from my own understanding, I would still say schooling is still mentorship in this perspective.
Yeah.
For instance, you're doing let's say a technical course in a college, right?
Yeah.
Because nowadays these are like technical skills.
Yeah.
Where somebody who is more experienced, a teacher is more experienced than the student, right or wrong?
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
When
You
it
said
comes-
schooling is a structured institution where students go to receive education and stuff. Also, we have institutions offering mentorship.
Yes.
It's just one. It's
We
what,
can agree
just
on
one
that,
and the same
uh-huh.
thing. What I would say is maybe from the school perspective, it is not the. Actually, it's one and the same thing because it's actually the student who will go looking for the school. Only that it doesn't choose the teachers to teach him. But for mentorship, you have to choose who will mentor me. You have to observe, and I think that's just a small difference. If I would say.
Can I say something about that? So when it comes to schooling, they don't do follow-ups. What you're doing with like, are you doing something with the information you got from the mentor, the teacher actually?
Really?
Most of them they don't.
Where
Most
do
of
they
them
do
don't.
exams?
Let's say you went to campus, right?
Where do they do exams?
Huh? No,
Where
no,
do
no.
they do exams?
This is not a follow-up.
It's a
This
follow-up
is so that
In
listen.
a formal way.
This is the goal that they have set.
Mhm.
This is the way they will determine if you've been truly reading or you've
That's
been
exactly
truly
the follow-up.
No.
no,
Okay,
no.
you see, one thing that you're putting across, you're putting a picture whereby you're
Uh-huh.
saying schooling and the institution, the way it is structured,
Uh-huh.
is a form of mentorship, but it is not mentorship. Because you see, with schooling, the individual is being taught what they don't know,
Exactly.
same as mentorship. Yeah. But at the end result is that there's someone who's graduating, the exams you're doing, there's paperwork you're writing, something that the lecturer or the teacher has to come and either check
The microphone
Uh-huh.
again.
or just follow up on that sense,
Mhm.
but with the set result that either you're passing or you're failing.
Failing, yeah.
With a mentor, the follow up on a mentee is to ensure that what they had imparted, because it is a transmission of knowledge,
Exactly.
transmission of wisdom that they have gathered over a set number of years through failure and successes,
Uh-huh.
and it's like a cheat sheet. They're giving you a cheat code whereby it is much easier for you to transverse through this particular career path or this institution or this profession instead of failing along the way like he did, so that the mentee can have it a little much more easier than they had. As opposed to a teacher, they'll just do it and it's like a drill, you know. Do it, do my exams, pass or fail, shauri yako, you know.
I understand, and the only way I would differentiate the school and mentorship, maybe I would say, is because for school, the teacher receives a person with zero knowledge about whatever they'll get taught.
Plus a
Right?
salary.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The student comes as an empty mind or empty brain. If I'm teaching you mathematics, you've not done
Empty-headed.
this. You said what? Empty-headed?
Yeah.
Exactly. We would use that. The student comes like literally doesn't know anything.
Right.
But mentorship would be, maybe I'm trying to do my podcast. I look for somebody who have done it to higher levels than me, and I go to look for mentorship from there.
So you've actually answered your question.
That's why I'm saying the only way I would accept the difference would be that way. That as teacher receives a person who with zero experience or with zero knowledge, a mentor could receive a person who is halfway or a quarter way. You understand?
And with
With some-
mentorship, you don't get any payment.
Yeah, mentorship.
So, as opposed to a teacher or a lecturer, you offer your services for a pay.
yeah.
But I think there are some people who get paid for mentoring others.
Yeah, they are
there are some people they
professional
have-
Like
mentors.
professional mentors, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Probably I
believe
would
so.
be one. That's a nice job, you know.
It depends how you structure yourself and how you package your services.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think it can give some money.
For Kabu, I can give him Pepsi and yeah, it's okay. I'll sort him out. So
That was not
Have you
polite.
been mentored before? Let me ask that question.
I don't think so. But do we have to be like physically knowing like, there are two types of mentorship.
Mhm.
Somebody I could come to you as a mentor and I tell you, hey man, I need mentorship on this path. You know what I mean? But again, I could be seeing what you're doing, and behind you,
Hoping.
I'm just learning what you're doing without actually telling you. I'm learning from you. Is that still mentorship, right?
Is that not kissing asses? Or-
No. Actually, what I'm getting from you, it reminds me of Michelangelo and his student,
Uh-huh.
whereby this is a master artist,
Mhm.
and his apprentice
Mhm.
is coming to him. They know how to paint, how to hold a brush, how to
Uh-huh,
use colors,
uh-huh.
but they have not achieved mastery.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
this person is advising him, guiding him how to do it to the level of which he is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's you want that mic a little higher? All right.
Okay.
So what I'm basically trying to say is, with mentorship, there's that advice and that closeness of which a teacher or a coach does not have, because
With the receiver.
because the
Yeah.
receiver is at a place where they're like a platonic friendship,
So
whereby this person is
So you asked me a
receiving it.
question whether I've been mentored before.
Yeah,
Before
sorry,
before
yeah, yeah.
before
And to
before we
answer that,
continue,
the reason as to why I asked.
before we continue,
Yeah.
can we define what mentorship is?
Before you go there, I
Uh-huh.
wanted to answer his question. If
Okay.
I've never been mentored,
Yes.
and to understand that, do I have to the mentor? Does he have to know that he has been mentoring me, or like can be just being mentored on a space? I'm learning something. I'm observing what you're doing, and I'm trying to do it on more skillful way. Learning from you without telling you actually you're mentoring me. Because for instance, let's take it this way. For example, most of us footballers, right? We are watching people who don't even know we are watching them. And when I go to the pitch, I try to do what they have been doing. That's mentorship. In
No,
one way or
no.
No, that's not mentorship.
You are being influenced. There's a difference between someone influencing you and mentoring you.
I felt stupid
person-
for a minute.
No.
Actually, it is a good question.
No, it's a good. I just
It's a
wanted
good
to know
question,
whether
yeah.
it's that following up behind without the mentor knowing you have been mentored.
Because you cannot be
So,
a disciple.
So for me, I'd say I've not
the
been
master
mentored.
doesn't know that you're
In person.
disciple.
So mentorship mostly, it's not mostly, but it's in person, right?
So you asked about defining mentorship.
Yeah.
Can you define what mentorship is?
In my own words, I would define it as a situation or let me say a situation where a more experienced individuals guides, supports, and impacts a receiver or a second party in terms of growth, experience, and skills.
Who is a mentee now?
I mean, it is the receiver
Yeah.
of the mentorship,
Yeah.
and whoever is giving the mentorship is the mentor. Yeah.
Wow.
I could mirror off from him
Yeah.
and just add something small. It's transmission.
Transmission.
Of knowledge, transmission of my network,
Mm-hmm.
transmission of my social
Masculinity.
status, transmission of knowledge and abilities and talents that the mentee might have developed to a certain level, but needs to upgrade it to maybe something much more better or
Yeah,
closer
sure.
to me or much better than me, you see.
Exactly.
The mentee, I could summarize it as a student or an apprentice or a learner who is under tutelage or under some form of guidance to receive this training, to receive this knowledge that this mentor is transmitting to them.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
There's a-
And
uh-huh.
the mentor and the mentee have to agree that there is mentorship being done in the
Yeah,
meeting, because
yeah, between
you
them.
can't be a follower of a master and the master doesn't know their disciple.
Yeah, but the master can be aware that this is my follower without the follower knowing that I'm following the mentor. Is it possible?
No, you can't mentor someone who doesn't know they're being mentored.
Sometimes our parents, man, they forced us to do things
Those
that.
are parent. That's parenting. That's not mentorship.
It's a very polite answer.
It
That's
is very
parenting.
I
authoritative.
also feel stupid
Yeah, it
for
comes
me.
from a level of yeah, because that's
Very,
a level
very-
of
very
authority
right answer.
down to someone who is without the authority
Yeah.
and does not choose, because
You know why I had
parents.
asked whether if you're following a person closely or they're impacting you in a way but they don't know, it's because I wanted to say yes, my parents have been mentoring me. Then
your parents
that's why I
can
asked that
really
question.
inspire you, and you'll be like, damn, if my dad is a billionaire, I have to be a billionaire. But they don't know that you have those dreams.
Because that for them is very authoritative because they want you to become what they want.
Yeah.
But for a mentor, want to impact you in a way you will better
He's basically
yourself
sharing his,
based on what you have already.
And based on your interest as well.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Because if I can give my own experience,
right?
I'm an engineer as well. So and I do most of welding and fabrication and mechanical.
Right.
And all this I learned through my dad mentoring me and my bro. Because my dad told me, you know what, Dennis, due to corona and stuff, you're gonna stay here and you do welding as you are doing since Form 1. I said, but Dad, he said, no, you're gonna be here, me and you. And by the end of this year, I want you to know this and this and this and this.
Exactly.
By the end of 2020, I was able to do all the stuffs that he told me. And answering your question, I can say I have been mentored by my dad.
That's beautiful.
So basically, you had said an interesting thing because you mentioned the mentorship. A mentor will mentor a mentee. Tongue twister that one.
Yeah. You're there. You're getting
based on their interests. Like, I want to mentor you based on your interest. So your dad impacting you in that way, was it your interest or because they wanted you to be on that path?
No, my dad knew that if I was going to the other path that I was choosing.
No, what was your interest? Was that whatever he was telling you, was it your interest?
Okay, it wasn't.
Thank you very much. Then you said a mentee has interest on something they are being mentored for.
Hypothetically.
Okay, let me just add something small that you had mentioned. If the mentee chooses the mentor based on the fact that they want to learn mastery from their master.
Okay.
They don't necessarily have to be their parent or someone that they are related to.
Could be anybody.
Could be anybody. But the fact that he has chosen to follow that master, could it be that the parent can and cannot also be a mentor? As he mentioned that his dad is his mentor because he taught him something in terms of engineering, welding and stuff like that. But that's an authoritative figure. Now, as a mentor, you have to come down to be like one-on-one
on the level
and guide this person and tell him, okay, this is how you hold the welding rod. This is how you weld. This is how you hold this torch. This is how you move your hand. Because from an engineer's part, I know how welding is done, especially like arc welding, MIG welding. There's a way that you move your hand so that you get those welding stitches in that beautiful pattern, So as someone who is authoritative to actually tell you this is how you do it, either he comes down or he has to remain as an authoritative figure and tell you, hey, I hit you,
This is not it.
But
for mentor is way different. We could classify a parent on a different level because, as you say, for them it's authoritative.
Right.
But for me to select a mentor,
and you can't choose your parent anyway.
A parent, yes, because
apparently you can choose a parent.
lines msanii alipwe. So what I'm saying is when a mentee is selecting a mentor, it's based on their first interest and their ability to bond. Like I'm seeing potential in whoever I'm going to select as a mentor, and I have seen what they have done, what they have achieved. And it's a person, apparently, I think you choose a person you either know very well or you've heard about very well. You have good information about them that they will impact you positively. Because apparently if Dennis is coming to me and telling me, hey, I need mentorship on this and this and this, and then I go find a mentor for him, could be I'm guiding him because I will not know how they will relate with that. Because for mentorship, you need a person who actually understands you very better. And who you understand on a personal level. Could not be in a personal level, but you understand their professionalism in that mentorship or whatever.
Exactly.
So for parent, kidogo, let's classify them on another class.
True. I share the same sentiment. Although we don't deny that your dad was your mentor.
We don't dismiss that.
We won't
don't
dismiss
start
that.
crying.
I can't.
Sorry, Dad. All right.
Okay, so should I say that I've never been mentored?
You
'Cause,
you can't deny the fact that he impacted your life
By
in a
the-
positive way,
Mhm.
enriched you with talents and skills and
Skills.
knowledge that you couldn't have found in books.
Yeah.
That you couldn't have just walked into any welding
Office
shop and
and
somebody
buy.
just
Yeah.
So these are hands-on skills that is transmitting to you that
Yeah.
you had to learn from one master
Mhm.
in order to improve on that and build your mastery.
Yeah. Cause it's okay. Yeah, I can. But he has been my mentor, you know. Anyway, you know the reason we came up with this topic actually.
Right.
It's cause people usually confuse, and someone is willing to do something, but he don't want to be guided.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, most of them they do things illiterately, like.
Trial and error.
For
again,
example-
but again, they say you learn from mistakes. So
Yeah, we learn
first
from
long as-
mistake, but-
first long as you're trying something new and you have zero knowledge on it, the more mistake you make, the more you start learning. Because I don't think you'll repeat a mistake you did tomorrow.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do
But
you know?
again,
Do you know
you
you
need
can
guidance.
lower the mistakes by going to someone who is more experienced, who has undergone through the mistakes that you are going to make. Instead of starting from scratch, you're gonna start from somewhere. Maybe he did mistake that you gonna make like exactly almost the same. Let's say when it comes to production, like I can go to our director Lucas. He can tell me, you know what, Dennis, when it comes to editing, you're not supposed to do this stuff. You're not supposed to do this stuff. And by that, I can learn something, right?
Yeah.
Is it true?
It is true.
True.
It is true.
But when I start editing from scratch, I will have to go to YouTube, look for some videos and stuff. So by choosing a mentor,
But again, which one is easier? Okay, it will take a longer process, and maybe you'll make it will be expensive for you to learn from scratch. You understand?
Exactly.
As you are saying, it
Yeah.
will be either expensive,
Mhm.
it will take
Time-consuming,
longer,
yeah.
time consuming and
Exactly,
stuff.
yeah.
It
and
will
time
be
is
tiring.
money. So
But again,
Mhm.
on the contrary, you could sharpen yourself better with you learning it yourself. You understand?
Everything has its pros and its cons. Let's get that right. Now, with mentorship, the beautiful thing about it is that this person has done their 10,000 hours.
yeah.
They have achieved mastery.
Yeah.
So they have done 10,000 plus mistakes.
Mhm.
So when he's imparting his knowledge on you, he's going to be minimizing your 10,000 mistakes to get to one point of mastery. And he's just imparting mastery after master. So those are just master strokes you're doing. You know?
I understand.
So it's basically giving you a cheat sheet or giving you a shortcut to getting to the point where you want to be
Uh-huh.
at the shortest time period. Like, for example, if you're a basketballer, would you rather be self-training or would you go to like Kobe Bryant or some other, or Steph Curry and tell him, hey, look,
Do I need to answer?
those shots you're doing, come on, man. Yeah.
Do I need to answer?
You don't need to answer. Come on.
Yeah, apparently I would of course go
You
to
would
the
rather go
to the
for
best.
Steph Curry and let him show you the ropes.
learn the 3 P's and the 5 P's. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's this 3 days event that Tony and Dean they hosted people. You were supposed to contribute like $1 to charity and stuff. These
Right.
people have I think 75 years of experience.
Combined
These guys-
or
combined.
individual?
Yeah, I would have
Mine.
been surprised. Somebody.
Yeah.
How old are they?
Yeah.
Combined experience.
Right.
So these people they are guiding you using their 75 years of
Sure,
experience,
yeah.
and you are 23 years of age, you are 30 years
Yeah,
of
sure.
age. So imagine the mistake they have done for 75 years. You can imagine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the kind of mentorship that we guys we are supposed to look for.
In this day and age, let me ask a question.
Sure.
In this day and age, how many youths are seeking out mentors?
I would say as at now, the generation we are at this age, this
Right.
era,
Yeah.
I think they are more lesser than before.
Can we start with
You know why?
ourselves? You're a youth, right?
I'm not seeking mentorship at this
Bas.
point. This is the reason. You might do wrong analysis because, as we had said, we have professional mentors, right? Who are doing this for an earning, okay? For a salary end month or maybe for sessions. You
Exactly.
understand? I always say you don't know what they are doing probably everybody is in business. Okay, they actually might not be having that experience. You understand? Probably they are going to the books, perusing, and whatever they are coming to tell you, they have not experienced it themselves. Because a best coach is a person who have been in that field. Like you have said, you have done welding to the
Mentor,
better.
not coach.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
If I want to come to you as a mentor, maybe for welding or whatever, I want you to have done that welding by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, somebody could just go, because everything nowadays is on the internet, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And because at the end of the day, they want to make an earning, they'll go use ChatGPT, and then they'll start charging you for sessions, bro.
Yeah.
So as at now, it's way difficult to know to get to a real one. That's why most of us are preferring our parents to be our mentors, because we have seen them do those things. But a person who is out there doing it professionally,
What if they don't share the same aspirations and dreams and desires and career path that you're taking? Let's say, for example, you're maybe medicine, because I've done medicine a little bit. So
Hey.
let's say you're doing medicine.
Daktari.
Doctor
Just
engineer.
helping out someone
Okay.
in a medical field. So
All right.
suppose you're doing medicine.
Uh-huh.
Your parent was an engineer. You can't go to your parent for any...
For medicine, yeah. I
you can't be
understand.
mentored in the medical field per se. Why I'm pointing that out is because I stand to say that anyone can be mentored at any stage of life. You can be 50 and seek out a mentor. Why am I
Yeah,
saying
sure.
this? Because as I do many things. You might be multi-talented. I'm multi-talented. I do painting, singing, I do engineering, I do other stuff.
Podcast.
Yes, including podcasts. So you find like I might be achieved mastery or my 10,000 hours on one scope of professionalism,
Okay.
and I'm just starting out in something else.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm doing forex,
Yeah.
but you're a guru in forex, and maybe I've lost maybe $10,000. So instead of losing $100,000, I'd rather come to you, who's been doing it for over a while.
For a good time, yeah.
And you're profitable, and
Yeah.
you'd actually tell me, hey, look, you're doing your analysis wrong. This is how you look at the graph.
Yeah.
Don't start by the 4-hour frame. Start with the 1 day and then go to,
Yeah,
how
I
you
understand.
break it down, so that actually I would stop making those mistakes and maybe start. It might be hard because you're not starting from a clean slate, like a young, fresh brain. But at least you're doing mentorship even as old as you are, but still.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask of a day or
Yeah.
maybe of a year
Yeah.
that you were mentored without your knowledge. Anyway, it's like I'm contradicting myself because we said something.
You cannot be mentored without your knowledge.
But
Exactly.
is it true? Because I can say I've
Without
never.
your knowledge?
How
Yeah,
can
you can.
Okay, you're confusing teaching and mentorship.
No.
You can be
I want-
taught.
No.
You
I
can
want
be
him- I
taught
want him
without
to
your
correct
knowledge.
himself.
Yeah.
So Dennis is mentoring me without me knowing he is mentoring
Imagine.
me.
Just think
That's
about it.
A bit contradicting,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay, maybe
so
you-
based on what you are asking me, how many people are seeking mentorship
Exactly.
in this era?
Yeah.
And I said very few numbers.
Very few and wide apart.
Yeah, because apparently just a week ago, a very common or very popular marriage mentor.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Very popular marriage mentor in our country
Yeah.
broke her marriage, and
Yeah.
I was like, bro, whoever has been giving us notes
Mm-hmm.
is no longer in a relationship.
Exactly.
The hunter becomes
That's
the
why-
hunted.
So that's how it's difficult, because whoever is coaching you to do what they have been doing, to do exactly on what to do in life, is actually not doing the same. That's why they are preaching water and drinking
But
wine.
You also have to
Marriage-
realize it's part of the masterpiece of life. Everybody is like painting their. I like using painting and artists because I'm an artist. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
we're
so
all-
many things.
Yeah, we are all. you are actually
All in one.
What we're doing even right now is we are all painting
Uh-huh.
the picture of our lives.
Exactly.
Whether through marriage, through the divorce, through breakups, through makeups, you know. So you find like in the case of now that famous marriage counselor or marriage mentor,
counselor, yeah.
you find that even through that divorce or that breakup, there's a lesson.
Maybe the art
Maybe
of
they're
makeup
becoming
was
even,
not
yes,
good.
maybe they're even becoming better.
But now this tells us, because from this, I want to understand in the perspective of the mentee. Okay, I'm chilling, I'm seated behind this person
Yeah.
to follow his path, because we said we are learning from the experience.
Of course, yeah.
For a person who has maybe gained this for a good time, because I
Right.
bet this person has been married for more than 30 years.
Right.
They're marriage counselor.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they have broken up with she has broken her marriage.
Yeah.
Me behind her, I'll be saying, this is not what I expected from this person. Yes, I learn a lesson, because maybe she might come out and tell us the reason as to why it got to that point. That will still be mentorship.
Was she
But again,
an
I want
influencer or mentor?
you to learn why it is difficult for people to seek mentorship, because they are figuring out if those who are mentoring us are failing. What of us? I am sure you have heard such a quote. You saying that.
Yeah.
If those who are better than us are failing,
Right.
who are we? You understand? That's why it's difficult in this era to for youths to seek even.
What I can say.
Let me add just a little.
Sure.
There's an influencer who really touched me sometime last year. He said, fail often, but fail forward. So I picture all types of failure as
Can you
a
repeat
form.
that?
Fail often,
but fail forward.
fail forward.
Bro,
You get it?
Write
so,
that one
So
down.
when you're processing yourself through failure without a mentor, you're going through so many hurdles of failing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But when you have a mentor, he's telling you, okay, this is a hurdle. Come on, just lift your leg a little higher. Go through that and go to the next one. As you're approaching this hurdle,
You fail.
lift a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You know, you
So
used
you're
to. So
failing?
you'll find like the instances of failure are much fewer, but you're failing forward. You know, there's that forward motion.
Forward. I understand
So
it.
with marriage, which is a little different because it's not mentorship per se, it's like life coaching.
Yeah.
With mentorship, you know, it is ongoing, it never ends. It's not like coaching whereby it's a set time. It's not like teaching where it's like a 4-year course or a 5-year or a 2-year course.
Yeah, it's
So
continuous.
with mentorship, it's continuous. The failure part is that this mentee has an expectation that this is the master. This one knows it all.
Yeah.
And they are expected to never fail. And they are supposed to impart all that mastery to
that.
you.
Yeah.
And with now coming to marriage, because marriage is such a fickle and brittle social structure, whereby with now the white marriages, whereby divorce is a certainty.
Yeah.
With African setting, there's no such thing as divorce.
Yeah.
Once your families have been brought together, these are your in-laws for life.
For life,
You can't say
sure.
that, hey, these people now they broke
Now-
up. Now we're no longer in-laws.
Yeah.
Now those are not your cousins. Now it doesn't even make
regardless
sense.
of the
Because
breakage,
this is
those
blood
remains
that
to
is-
be your in-laws.
Yes, they remain to be your in-laws. And the funny thing about mentorship of nowadays is that they put a shelf life to it, whereby one says, okay, now you are mentoring me to become maybe a manager, and I started from a junior role, now I've become a manager, now I don't need you anymore.
I don't need,
you know?
yeah.
But you find that there's new technologies coming up, new ways of doing things, such that the mentor will want to tell you, hey, look, there's something that I didn't get right, that I've just realized, that we need to refresh. Yeah.
But you already said,
Kali wali. And you find like the mistake that he did, that he's trying to tell you, hey, don't do this, so that at least you don't fall down like I did, so that at least when you approach that kind of
you can be able to
stumbling
maneuver.
block, you'll be able to maneuver.
Yeah.
Why should people seek mentorship? Maybe someone who is not even willing to be mentored, he says, it's a waste of time, you know?
I would say, if you don't seek mentorship, maybe
Like for you said you've never seeked mentorship.
I've never. Probably I'd start from him, maybe.
That's a start. All right.
You got two mentees now. You got two mentees,
Amen.
count me.
Why would someone want mentorship, or why do people not want mentorship? Number one, I think it's entitlement.
Entitlement, how? Okay.
Yeah, someone feels like, hey, I have a PhD.
Yeah.
This guy just finished
Yeah.
They weren't doing PhDs in this field at that time. So he won't tell me shit. Or you find someone who's like, my ego cannot allow me
Cannot allow me to be mentored by
to be mentored by this white-haired fellow who doesn't understand my generation and the way we do things nowadays, you know?
I think
Also there is another point of fear of judgment.
All right, yeah.
Because probably if I go to him trying to be mentored, people look down on people.
All right,
Because maybe the skill I'm trying to ask from you, to you it's the smallest thing you did.
Yes, yes.
So when I'm coming to you to seek that knowledge for
Right.
that thing, you
Yeah.
will be like, what is this? Or what is this that you don't know? This is a small thing.
Exactly.
So the fear of judgment after I come to seek mentorship
Yeah.
might make me know that to get mentored.
It reminds me of this. I don't know if you guys watch Kung Fu movies. There's this movie called Drunken Fist.
yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah. of
So
course.
when Jackie Chan gets into a fight, they're in a fight in this town, and he sees this old guy fighting, and he moves away. He's like, I know how to fight, but I just realized I don't know how to fight. You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, okay, master, teach me your ways, you see? And the first lesson this guy teaches him is how to fall down.
Yeah.
Not how to fight, not how to throw
How to fall
punches,
down.
not just fall down.
fall down.
Yeah, meaning that this guy had to go down to his root, break down whatever he knew as a fighter to actually show him that was not correct. You need to learn how to fall, so that when you learn the drunken fist, which involves a lot of falling, by the way,
Yeah, if you
have
fall,
to,
you know how
yeah, you
to-
have
not
to
to
be,
get up.
yes.
Yeah.
I think I need to rewatch that movie.
you should,
Maybe you should.
you should, because it involves a lot of mentorship.
I
Like,
never
this guy
thought of
is-
it that way.
No, go watch it.
We-
Go
we-
watch
we-
it.
we thought-
Oh my God, it's
we watched it as a
it's
source of
amazing.
entertainment
It's,
and
yes,
leisure.
It's amazing how this guy just sits down, drinking, and like, do that again. And this guy is like, oh my God.
And
Oh
you
my
know,
God,
the
the
reason I
same
didn't get
thing.
that point
Yeah.
is because in Kenya we used to watch these remixed.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
And
Yeah.
this guy is
Actually, I understand all your point.
Yeah.
And without whatever you have said, this guy will say, do it again.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
There is another reason why people don't seek mentorship is time constraints.
Oh yeah,
Like,
exactly. Everyone
This
is
mentor will
ever
not just
busy.
let you slide between the mentorship.
Exactly.
It's just do it again and again
Mhm.
and again until the mentor feels satisfied
Exactly.
with the mentee that he's okay on this stage.
Yes.
Let's move to the next.
Yes.
So people, the fear of doing things again and again and again,
Yeah.
so that they will make them like, maybe I will seek mentorship
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah.
The moment you tell me repeat,
You'll be like,
I throw my
this
hands.
guy is
no,
now
I'm not
playing
doing
brain
this.
games.
You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
another reason.
Yeah.
Continue there.
What would make a mentee
Uh-huh.
give up on whatever the mentor is trying to impart on them?
Poor communication.
Yeah, communication.
Yeah.
Another thing is when the mentee is not authentic. The mentor, I mean, is not authentic.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Because you cannot impart mastery on what you don't know.
Yeah. Actually, exactly what he said. Like a marriage counselor breaking up with.
It's like you haven't reached, let's say, for example, like now tennis or playing keyboard or basketball, which
We
actually
can use
involves a
football.
lot of repetitive action. So this person hasn't thrown their 10,000th shot. Yeah, so they're trying to show you a 3-pointer and they're not yet there, you know?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's pretty hard because also they are in their phase of trying and error
And
to get there, and then they can say,
they can-
okay,
No,
this is
this
how
is
you
it.
hold your
yeah.
position, your hand, you know?
So another
Yeah.
reason why they
Where's
would give
Paul?
up.
Yeah.
Another reason why they would give up is lack of involvement.
True.
Yeah.
You want to show me how to dunk.
Yes.
But you're not letting me to dunk.
Yeah.
You're the one who is dunking every time. You see, this is how you do it.
This is how we do
This
it.
is how you do it. You dunk.
Yeah.
But you're not telling me, get involved, try
Yeah.
to dunk.
True.
So if you're teaching me welding and
Yeah. You're not letting me hold the
grinder,
welding rod. Yes.
So I would say, what is this? How am I
Yeah.
even being mentored
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
So
yeah.
lack of involvement in the
True.
mentorship would make somebody say,
I can say, can we say mentorship is where you do it and you are cancelled?
It's actually advising. That's why I said
Like,
it's transmission
yeah.
of knowledge.
Yeah.
This person is
You're the one
advising you.
supposed to take
Hold
the
it.
action. Like you're the one doing the stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Could be either. They are telling you do this and you do. You do it wrong, they correct you. Now
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
But again, there could be another way of them doing it and handling you whatever, whether it's a basketball.
Yes,
They tell
yeah.
you now do it.
Mhm.
Then they do it again. Then they tell you to do it.
Yeah.
Then they could be telling you do it. then they tell you, no, that's not how you put your legs.
Yeah.
Put your feet in this position.
But this
So there's
does,
either by after involvement
Mhm.
or you yourself doing it.
So it is active participation.
Acting participation.
Yes.
Can
Do
we,
I do?
based on my experience when it comes to health and fitness,
Yes.
you know, someone is trying to mentor you when it comes to gym and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Running. So he
Yes.
cannot run on your behalf, you know.
You can't run on your behalf. True.
I get that.
Yeah.
So that's why it
So-
depends in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, it depends.
Because they cannot run on your behalf.
Okay, it
You have
reminds
to
me.
do
It
it yourself.
reminds me of this time. There's this guy. He's also a blogger and also does shows,
Uh-huh.
and they are actually showing people how to trade in the forex. And he's like, okay, guys, we're just about to enter the RSI. Now we should be buying, guys. It's a buy, it's a buy. And then you know what the graph does? The opposite. It just goes all the way down. And then everybody's like, dude, we just lost money. It's like, just wait, it's a buy. So you find like the worst thing about mentorship is actually being there in the forefront and losing. Because most mentees and mentor, the way they view each other is that this person is imparting knowledge and this person should be seeing this person winning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it wouldn't make sense that you're going to somebody to mentor you and they are
I get
actually
that, and they're losing it. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there should be a way that you see that is inspirational. As you asked about football, and what if I am mentored by someone else who is an inspiration to you? From the sense which is true is that this person
Has to be
is
winning. Has to be winning.
Yeah, this person has to be on a level of success where you're like, I want to get there or better.
But if they have not achieved any success, why are you even mentoring me?
And
And
I have a question.
that's another reason as to why I would give up on mentorship. Mismatch of the mentor and the mentee.
That's why you find
Because
bankers
maybe-
don't want to learn from university because they're like, hey, all of my university professors are not as rich as.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why you find.
And
You know, I had
that's
somebody-
That's
well.
why all
You know,
billionaires are
somebody-
university dropouts because the guys who are teaching them entrepreneurship
Yeah.
are not entrepreneurs.
That's why I had somebody ask, why are you going to school to be taught by a teacher to become a doctor? Why isn't he or she a doctor?
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Because there are people who are bringing this initiative of escape the matrix and stuff.
True.
I'm sure you've heard about
True.
that.
Yeah.
These people are trying to encourage people or telling people, not actually, I don't know whether it's discouraging or something.
Not
because
discouraging.
it's discouraging for real. Because why? You're telling me I should not go to school because that teacher teaching me to become a medic is not a medic.
Mhm.
But that's what he has started. He could have become a medic if he
Sure,
wanted.
yeah.
But he chose the path. He chose like, hey, this is what I want to do to impact others, to teach others how to become medics.
Okay, if I should just add on that is sometimes you become rusty. For a profession like, let's say, like what you mentioned, like a medic. Surgery, especially for this, like from back home in Kenya, whereby it's a combined degree. Yeah, MB, then CH,
NC,
then
yeah.
B. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're doing medicine, then you're doing surgery, you know. So as you're getting to become a surgeon, as you age, your muscles start to do this. So you can't cut properly. You can't do it as precise and as accurate as you were
Yeah,
before.
so fresh,
So the best way you can
surgeon.
do it is pass it down.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
But
just stand
but
there
it
and
saddens the
oh.
student that this guy is so amazing at showing.
That
but
doing. I
you get
your
it, you
point,
know.
yeah.
But also there's a point whereby somebody used to be so good and they don't want to die with it. They want to pass it on so that someone else can perfect on what they did. And that's how now jazz became blues became R&B is hip hop, trap and the kind of music that we have today. It's the baton being passed down to the other generation,
to the next person, yeah.
and they're perfecting on that, you know.
Sure.
So there's a good side to it and there's a bad side to it, whereby you're looking at it as this guy used to be good and now they're bogus,
They're not
you know.
good at whatever they were doing.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Billionaires lose money every day. It doesn't mean that they were not good, but it just means that time has changed or situation has
Time have caught with them and
caught up with them. Yeah.
Can we say that by someone mentoring a mentee can also learn through mentoring?
Exactly, yeah.
Like he was saying something to do with dunking and stuff.
True.
So I don't know how to dunk, but I'm using my mentee to learn on the process of teaching him or her.
Yeah.
You know why teachers are perfect at doing what they do? Because of doing it
Repetitively.
generation after generation.
Yes.
It takes you from grade 4 to grade 8.
Yeah.
Then takes another
From
grade
4 to
takes another. So this it becomes his or her thing.
Yeah.
Like he doing
like
it
in campus,
swiftly.
a professor would walk in without notes,
Without notes, bro.
and he'll be like, "Okay, we're to the
he's
next chapter."
spitting
And
knowledge, bro. Because
and you check the textbook, it's photocopy.
Exactly.
actually, with this, you can understand that a mentor can be learning by mentoring.
True.
If I'm mentoring you on maybe, I'm still doing it, actively doing it. If it's welding, I'm actively doing it while I'm teaching you. So this means I'm also, perfecting my art.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There's something.
Actually, it's an advantage to the mentor.
Yeah.
There's something you said about teachers, and I feel it this way because a teacher will teach you something. I
Right.
remember there was a quote that my science teacher used to say that I'm giving you only 15%. You need to look for 85%.
Exactly.
So when a teacher does something, so he or she is showing you only the 15%. So you need to research on the 85% of.
Right. That's why there's follow up. Like during mentorship, what happens is that you are approaching a certain activity or a certain problem. You know the solution, like the result that should come out of it, but the mentor now gives the mentee an opportunity to go and do it, and then now he's doing follow up. Hey, what challenges did you find? How do you think this went? Did you fail? Did you perform at par? Did you perform averagely or better? What could you have done different now that I've shown you how it is done? Or what can you add on to that to make what I've shown you much better?
And should we put in a goal, either short term or long term goal when it comes to mentorship?
Should we put it as a long term or a short term?
Like
when we are doing mentorship?
No.
Ask the question again.
Should we put goals?
It depends. It depends with what are you being mentored to do. There are mentorship that will require you to have a long term goal.
Exactly.
There are ones that will require it depends with where are you sitting at that point.
Exactly.
What are you being mentored about? Because there are either it's skills that will take you longer to grasp, and there are ones that you will take even weeks, months. You have it already. Like for instance,
Career path.
Not even career path. Career path. For instance, we have short courses.
Right.
Like those people are teaching skills or mentoring skills, like the baristas, these hospitality courses.
Right.
It won't take you long, but the other courses or the other things, for a person to mentor you, it will take you quite a good time. For example, in different fields, it depends. Even it depends with also your IQ or your mental capability.
Exactly. Yeah.
How able are you to grasp faster or slow? Because you have slow learners and
True.
fast learners. So it will depend. Where if you are a faster learner, then you'll have to set short-term goals.
Yeah, because sometimes we find people are theoretically good, but when it comes
Practical.
to practical,
poor.
they are poor.
Yeah.
But some people will find them practically good, but theoretically poor.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the point.
What I can add on to that is that genius doesn't follow IQ. Like you could see someone like Einstein, for instance. His IQ was not very, 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 very that high, but it was brilliant in terms of physics and mathematics. On the other hand, Tesla was amazing. And when they asked Tesla, hey, how does it feel to be the smartest guy in the world? And he'd be like, hey, don't ask me. Ask Einstein. And Einstein is like, hey, I failed at math. So sometimes you find somebody who is practically very poor at doing something. Like Einstein wasn't that good in doing engineering in terms of electrical engineering. But when it comes to theoretical physics, the guy was a master,
He's a guru.
And Tesla, on the other hand, I mean, not Elon, the guy.
The Tesla,
The Tesla. Nikola Tesla was amazing at practically putting up circuits and actually making something out of that. So sometimes you can choose a mentor who is brilliant at doing and showing, rather than someone who's brilliant at
Giving
theoretically
you notes
putting it.
and you know,
Yeah. That's why you find very few people who actually say, "Hey, Einstein showed me this, and this is why I'm like this."
yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
you find very many electricians. They tell you, "Hey, whatever Nikolai Tesla was doing was just magic," because most of his circuits, no one has put them together up till to date, and still he has those blueprints down because people can't figure out how he did it, but he's written it down. You know.
Yeah. So you remind me of when I was back in class 8,
Yeah.
that is primary school.
Right.
There was a guy who was very good in maths.
Yes.
But all the other subjects, he was very poor.
Mhm.
But when it came to maths, he was brilliant, bro.
Mhm.
So moving on swiftly,
Yeah.
why would you encourage somebody to seek mentorship?
Let's say you want to chase your career. It's good for career growth, actually.
Huh?
Yeah. Let me take an example. I'm an engineer, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't start here.
Yeah.
So there's some steps that I have attained already.
Yeah.
I can mentor
Yeah.
someone who is starting up
Yes.
till to the position that I am in.
Right.
Yeah, and someone who is maybe has a higher position than me
Right.
can mentor me on how to go when it comes to
Yeah,
engineering.
sure.
Yes.
You got my point?
Yes,
So
yes.
for career growth,
Exactly.
that is one thing.
I'll add something a little bit onto that. As for career, we work. Okay, I'm in the industry, in the engineering industry, whereby an accident means loss of lives, loss of property, loss of hardware, especially like aircraft.
Yeah.
So you find like an older engineer, he'll tell you his life story in terms of, I was there when this accident
Yeah,
happened.
happened.
I was
Yeah.
here when this happened.
Yeah.
And this was caused by this. For us younger engineers, you'll have to watch that on crash scene investigations, the ones that comes on National Geographic. Yeah. So you'll have to follow up and say, okay, this flight number blah blah blah, it crashed in this day, and this is what happened. So this
Yeah.
is the lead up, like
Uh-huh.
the chain of events that happened to lead to that crash.
Uh-huh.
So for a mentee, when he looks at the mentor, he's looking at someone who has been through that and learned, and now he's showing you. So it's almost like a shortcut. He's pouring down whatever he had learned, so that
Yeah.
when you're starting out, it's not that hard for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You said that, and I remembered that I got injured when I was working because I had not I didn't have PPEs back then.
proper
Exactly.
Proper
Yeah.
PPEs,
Yeah.
and it happened that I had an accident.
For those who do not know what PPEs are,
Yeah.
is
Safety gears.
Oh, personal protective equipment. Yeah, that is gloves. So I got injured right here.
sorry, is it this car?
Yeah, this
This
car.
one? All right.
So when I see someone holding a grinder,
We are not sorry. You learned from it.
no. When I see
True.
someone holding a grinder without PPEs,
Yeah.
I even feel like goosebumps, you know?
It's like a repeat
"Hey,
of
bro,
history."
What are you doing? Stop
You-
doing
It's
that.
gonna happen.
Stop.
You
feel
Protect PPEs,
goosebumps?
come back
Exactly.
here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I learned from it.
The hard way.
Yeah, the
Right.
hard way. And I remember that time, it's the story, the experience I shared with you last time. On these, what were we talking about? Black tax.
Black tax.
Yeah, black tax.
yeah.
I shared that experience.
experience, yeah.
Ah, right.
So
right.
who have not checked that, check out Black
Yeah,
Tax
Black
and Desert
Tax.
Vibes podcast.
It's
So
only-
another advantage could be networking.
Exactly.
If I seek mentorship on a person who has been in that field,
Yeah.
he might connect me with
So much.
several people
So
in that
much.
field, maybe.
Yeah.
Because for example, in engineering,
Mhm.
we are using that example regularly because he's an engineer.
Yeah.
He's an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm also an engineer of life.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, we all are. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So, for example, in that engineering, there
Yeah.
are different departments.
Yes.
There is a department that you're best at.
True.
And if I come to seek mentorship from you,
Yeah.
you'll guide me on that field.
Mhm.
If we get to reach to that another field that
Right.
you are sure you're not best at,
Yeah.
Right.
you'll tell me, no, don't worry.
Mm.
I have another person who is good at that.
Yeah.
So I've already known you. I've learned from you.
Yes.
I've grasped what I've taken from
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And now you have connected me to another person.
True.
So to say
Very
with
true.
mentorship, it
There's
comes
that
with
networking factor, yes.
Also, you could mentor me, and when you find out that my guy is learning
You're good at something, yeah.
let me get him a job somewhere.
Very true.
So,
We're talking, yeah.
based
Very
on
true.
the an experience of here,
Uh-huh.
so someone came up with an idea, can we start a podcast? And he said, so let's say, like for me,
Right.
I had to go more and look for another person.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
by that, this person linked me with another person who
Yes.
has a different experience.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's
So
how-
it creates networking.
Yeah.
Also, I would say mentorship creates confidence
Very true.
confidence.
Very true.
to the mentee.
Very true.
If I'm receiving mentorship from the best, even when I go to seek job, you can say I learned from.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
Eh?
And also the trust factor, because
Yeah.
let's say I believe every human being is like a value chain.
Yeah.
The people I'm connected to, the people I'm networked to.
Your network is your net worth.
You said it.
Word.
You said it.
Repeat it, man.
Your network.
Your network
is your
is your net worth.
And everybody is a value chain.
Yeah.
Like you might know 6 degrees, or the theory of 6 degree of knowledge,
Yeah.
whereby 6 people down the line might connect you to Obama
Yeah,
or
sure,
Uhuru
sure.
Kenyatta. Just 6 people in your value chain can connect you directly to the president.
Yeah.
And that's the profound thing about that, is that your value chain can determine how high and how far you go in life.
Yeah.
You know? So if you're connected to, let's say, Elon Musk, it's just one step from Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
You see?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's that kind of profound closeness and interaction with people
Yeah.
that brings you closer to your target, or your dreams, or your vision, such that you will be like, hey, I need to be connected to this guy who in a few years or through his network or sharing his knowledge and his people who he knows might connect me to ABCD, who will connect me to ABCD.
Sure.
Yeah, so as life is like a ladder and you're climbing through the steps of life, you can choose someone who you say he'll bring me closer to either
my
your
target.
financial dream
Yeah.
or your career dream, or where you want to be in life.
Okay, so are you saying it only takes 6 people for someone who is outside there to reach to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try it. Just think about it. If you let me give you an example.
Sure.
I know in your family, let's talk about now a little bit concerning like presidents. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's say you have someone who is in the political
director is
life.
complaining about time.
About time. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Let me hurry it up.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a relative who is a politician.
Mm-hmm.
The politician knows another politician.
Yeah.
That politician knows the president. That's not even 6 people, but you're already close there. Maybe it's an MCA who knows an MP, who knows the senator, who's directly connected to. So it's that short. The value chain is very short, but you maybe right now you just do not know who knows who, so that they can connect you to,
Yeah. So kindly allow us to
wrap it up.
Yeah, to wrap it up. And before we wrap it up, there is also negative mentorship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but in this channel we don't talk of negative mentorship or anything negative,
Right.
because our motto is elevate your future.
True.
We are here to elevate your future and ours as well.
Sure.
No one is perfect, and whatever we've said, it's not enough. You need also to do your own research when it comes to mentorship. Thank you.
It's a wrap.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.
Thank you.
Follow us
Thank
on
you
our
for
social
having
media
me.
platforms at Desert Vibes Ambassadors.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Thank you for having me.